Shout out to SpaceX. All right, so SpaceX may be doing a 15 to 16 billion annual revenue today while it's aiming for a 2 trillion IPO. A lot of people are confused. Like, how can it be worth 2 trillion IPO? And most people will look at that and say that valuation makes no sense and it's overvalued. But me, and I agree, this company is still significantly undervalued to some extent, right? SpaceX owns the launch system, it owns satellite network, it owns Starlink, which is great. Go check it out. And it owns the path to orbital AI compute. Now that's in the wings, so I'm not going to bake that in. And with Starship, which is still in development, it will become the lowest cost access to space in human history. A lot of great deals are being done by Anthropic and also Google that want to be a part of AI compute. Now, Anthropic is already doing a deal with SpaceX AI, so that's interesting right now. A small little neo cloud play for SpaceX, but also on top of that, you still have that orbital compute, right? Data centers in space downrange. That Anthropic and Google says they both want to collaborate with SpaceX to get her done. And honestly, this is why I'm thinking I'm going to become the first billionaire in my family tree because I might invest in it. No, I'm just kidding. That's a lot of bit. I don't know if he invested in it. If he did, especially when it was still private, I mean, that's ridiculous. He might become the first goddamn billionaire in his family if he did that. I mean, Google put 1 billion into it. And now out of that 1 billion, they have 112 billion around the current estimation. So that's a ridiculous gain by Google. Good play on Google. So anyways, launches, they did 165 to 170 launches in 2025. That's 82%. 82% of commercial launch market. 82. That's a good market share right now. Now, somebody who's probably a little bit close is Amazon Blue Origin. It's not a little bit close, they're far behind, but they're competition to some extent. We got Orbital Starlink satellites, 10,359 satellites. That's 66% of the active satellites worldwide. And one thing, if you read The Space Economy, a book I got back over there, as I always do for something, there's only so much real estate in space. Once you kind of occupy the space, then you're going to have a clash. It's only, I mean, space has a lot of space, but low Earth orbit is it's only so much space. So if you get there first, I mean, you're going to have to fight somebody else, basically. Now we got 80 to 90% of global upmass to orbit is thanks to SpaceX. Now, currently, the 20 to 28x booster revenue, you got it from first flight, 10th flight, and the 20th flight. Same booster flies again and again. So the booster is the big thing. I'll pull it up on the screen so y'all can see how big boys work. So SpaceX market share is about 82%. The rest of the world combined, we're always worried about China, right? That's 18% of the remaining, right, share is for the rest of the world. China, Russia, Europe, and other new errants, people who end. So no one matches the full stack. They build, they launch, they deploy, and they operate. Now, of course, I didn't know SpaceX was running a program where you could actually sell Starlink. I didn't know that. That could have been a business for your boy, but I'm retired. Now, why SpaceX wins the AI in space? Now, this is an assumption. Now, what this person's saying or what this document is saying, let's say that, right? One launch is Starship deploys compute models, and number two, orbital data centers compute satellites with power and terminal advantage. And of course, you have unlimited solar power and radioactive cooling in a vacuum. It's cold out in space. So that's what they're going to leverage, allegedly. Now, Starlink laser mesh, high bandwidth, inner satellites network already deployed. Send that back to Earth. Beam me back, Scotty. And AI compute for Earth. Low latency, distributed compute for global users. You don't have all these normies complaining in space. You're still going to have normies on Earth complaining about the environment in space, but not so much as the environment in their community or whoever's acting like that. All right. So we got 100 to 200 usable payload. Starship enables massive deployment at scale. This is the next ship that Elon and, of course, SpaceX is trying to build out. And then you get $100 per kilogram target. And SpaceX is driving launch costs towards a level competitors cannot match. Starlink lasers a mess already in orbit, and they already do it. SpaceX is already operates the network layer currently. And then number 4, only company with a full stack across the board. So 2 trillion valuation. What do you think? Yosemite. What do you guys think in the actual chats in the comments?